The destination is on your left, Olivemead Lake.
Good morning, guys. We've got something a bit different for you on this video, that's for sure. We're not fishing our normal marsh trail lakes or anywhere in Suffolk for that matter. We've visited Olivemead Lake, which is in Wiltshire, Wootton Bassett. We've got the lodge for the week. I didn't do any filming yesterday. We turned up here at about 12 o'clock, no, 1 o'clock, sorry. Absolutely blazing heat, 30 degrees while we were travelling up here, with stops that took us approximately 4.5 hours to get here. Turned up. As soon as you turn up at this place, it's just wow, it's something totally different to what it is, especially around sort of the Suffolk Norfolk area, that's for sure. Turn up, you've got your own lodge, you've got your own sort of swim, not mapped out, but you've got buoys and stuff, so no one's casting over you, you're over my line, that kind of stuff, which I like. Saw some absolute units. I'll show you the intimate bay I'm fishing in a minute, but the fish were jumping just before that storm yesterday. They were jumping to the cabin to my left. Like I say, you got your own water boundaries, but they were just absolutely jumping like dolphins. Did catch a fish actually rolling, which I'll put in a clip after this a little bit. They don't bosh out in here, they're really kind of subtle rolls, so if you've got a bit of a wind on the water you can't really see what's going on. So time's now about 7 o'clock. I was going to do this earlier, I've been up since 5. I did have a bit of an occurrence on my right hand rod. I've got my rod split up, so I've got 2 fishing out. Well, I'll show you 2 out to the left and 1 out to the right. Yeah, as soon as we turned up, got all our stuff and that in the cabin. I think his name's Caleb, the bailiff, sort of come in, had a word, sort of spoke about the best kind of spots on here. I say yesterday it was just a case of kind of getting the rods in the water, and then just the fish showed me where they wanted to be fished for, really. I saw, say, 2 big fish to my right hand side. When the sun comes around from there down into the margin, down to my right hand side, I did see 2 big fish. They seem to be swimming around in singles, but I saw 2 big fish in this bay to my left, right, sorry. They were jumping out to my left hand side. I'll just turn you around then, and we'll show you a bit of the lake, we'll show you the cabin. I want to do some, I've got some plans on what to do on this trip, because obviously we're here till Friday. It's now Tuesday, I say early doors, 7 o'clock, so we've got the whole week. So I'll show you bait. I want to do a bit of, if I catch a fish anyway, I want to do a bit of sort of weighing in and stuff like that, because the amount of times I see people not weighing the fish properly, I just want to kind of put a bit of content out there, sort of showing people how they should weigh their fish. So just bear with me and I'll turn you around. Right, so there you go, guys. As you can see, this is the most picturesque lake I think I've ever fished. I say, as soon as you turn up in the gate over the far side there where that cabin is, you just turn around and go, wow. I say, you got your boundaries. I'll show you later on. There's like buoys, coloured buoys, so you know where your water is. Like I say, there's no kind of casting over whenever you're over my line, which gets on my wick when I fish like marsh trail and places like that. This is kind of pain free. You know where your boundaries are, you know where you're fishing, and that's how I like it. So here you do get mats, cradles and nets supplied. So I've got 2 nets, so I'll just put one to my left hand side where my 2 rods are there, and you can see the one on to the right. All I'm getting at the moment is occurrences on my right hand rod. Like I said, I'm not panicking yet because we haven't even been here 24 hours, but those fish were jumping kind of in between the 2 rods on the left and the rod on the right. Caleb did say fish about 2 or 3 rod lengths out. And to be honest with you, I did see a few fish out there last night, so the majority were to the left, beyond the aerator on the left hand side. I have got a bait, my middle rod if you like, or the right hand rod on the pod, that is just off that aerator. And the left one is down the left hand margin, and the right hand one is in the pads. Let's see if I can turn you around and see if we can see the pads. So like you see, I've got a nice little intimate corner here. Now that is where I saw 2 absolute units yesterday. Let's do the old finger trick. There's sort of a cutout in the pads just there. I say all the single beeps. So I had 4 or 5 beeps on that one this morning. That was on that rod. Nothing on the right hand of rod as yet. I say later on I'll show you the sort of the baiting tactics, how I prepare my bait before it goes out in the water. For now, we'll leave that there and we'll get some more filming later on. So we'll catch you later, hopefully, next time with the fish. Hi guys, I was going to do an update a bit later on, but what I've done, I was fishing in that gap in the pads, which I think I showed you yesterday, but they keep coming in. The bailiff did say where these sporadic sort of pads are, carp do pick up baits down there, and I've had continual traffic through. I know they're on the surface, don't get me wrong, but that thing there is absolutely massive. I would say I've seen 4 or 5 fish coming through here. They're swimming in singles, or in, obviously I have seen groups of 2 or 3. My hope is I kind of put my bait boat in there, wait until they'd sort of buggered off, and then dropped the bait down. I thought I might have spooked them, but they keep coming back throughout the day. What I'm kind of hoping is going to happen is that once that sort of, if it cools down, obviously it's going to cool down a bit, but once that light starts dropping and then fish start to move out, hopefully they'll find my little trap. All I've got on there is a enemy hard hooker with a little bit of a pink topper on there, and a little bag of pellets soaked in the enemy liquid lunch, just to sort of get a sweet taste, if you like, in the water. Hasn't worked as of yet, but fingers crossed. I say there is continual traffic coming through here, so let's hope for the best. Well, just a little update for all. Speak a bit quietly. It's now 20 to 11, so speak a bit quietly. So today it's been bloody hot, and that's pretty much why I haven't done any filming. I keep meaning to sort of put the bait out, etc. I might get my chest cam on tomorrow just so we can make a video out of it. This evening, put the right hand rod in the pad still, so the fish were coming in and out of there. So there's every chance that could be day bite. Tonight I kind of wait until about 6 o'clock. Again, they've done exactly the same thing. Not much of a dolphin show as such, but they were showing from about 6 o'clock onwards. So I've moved the rods that are over to the left, and then moved them a bit. So just in front of the swim there, again they were jumping there yesterday, probably about 2 rod lengths out, 2-3 rod lengths out. Sort of a half boatload out with a load of crushed enemy, and a solid PVA bag at the top of that with a bit of liquid lunch in there. And on the left hand rod near the aerator, again they were jumping just to the left of that, and I thought this time I'll put the boat out there, but I'll give them a bit of bait. So I filled that up with particle. That was the Hinders Munger mix, and put a load of probably about 10-15 crushed halves, bits and bobs, boilie rods in there, and put a yellow waffle on over the top. From about, I can't remember what time it was now, from about 8:30 onwards through till now, about 3, I can only assume is savage liners or so haven't been done, where the hanger, and as I got down there, the hanger kind of dropped down again. So as all the fish over the bait have been done, I don't know, we'll soon find out. I'm kind of hopeful we'll be getting a bite on that one, to be fair. That's why I'm sitting up as late as possible. I won't be long before I go to bed, but I thought I'd just give you a catch up. I'll probably be up early doors anyway. Probably about 5-6 o'clock I'll probably get up. We'll make a cuppa and then we'll have a bit of a catch up, hopefully between obviously now and then there'll be a bit of a fish action on the net. Kind of hoping that left hand rod goes off, or maybe early doors or right hand rod in the pads, but we'll see. So I'll leave that for now. I just thought I'd catch up, otherwise you won't know what's going on. So I'll catch you later, guys. Right guys, I've been having some funny sort of liners and whatever, and then I come down, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning now, and yeah, the rod sort of pulled up tight and that was grating a bit, so we'll try and get this up for us a bit lively. £22, that was on a yellow enemy wafter over a load of particle, crushed enemy and some liquid lunch. A hell of a scrap, so it was great, and I don't know if there's any wires now what coming off the aerator, but I'll just show you the other side. These are, like I say, £22 bang on. I think we'll get it back. I say it's nice and cool now, but we'll just get it back and then hope for another one. Catch you in a bit. Well, good morning. As you can see, I had that fish earlier on, sort of I think about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I put the rod back out. I've had a few liners on there, but it has gone dead for the last hour or so. I think this heat is now starting to pick up. I think it's now 25 degrees at the moment. I think we're supposed to get up to the 30s again. So not the ideal daytime sort of conditions. I think it's now changeover day for the cabins. So the gentleman over the way there, he's now packing his gear away. I think he's off, and I think the guys to the left of me, they're going as well. I think they did have another one last night, so they've had that 38 pounder was it yesterday morning, so they've done well. That is my target for the rest of the week. Now I'm off the mark. I think on that spot I haven't put a lot of bait out this morning because I know it's going to be warm out of the day. Chances of getting a bite there are going to be fairly slim, so tonight I'll probably do the same as I did last night, hopper full of particle, put some pre-offerings of NME in there, and then just load it with either liquid lunch and or with hemp oil, which is what I did last night. Yeah, the fish haven't come into the pads as of yet. Probably give it a few hours, they'll be in there. I am quite surprised, to be quite honest, I haven't had a bite off that rod. Keep putting it in the same spot. I'm not putting a lot of bait in there, so it's right in the middle of the pads. They've taken sort of a cutout of the middle of the pads because there's a hard spot in there. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a couple of people in there. I think that was a mother and son. They had 4 or 5 out. I think they had 2 30s, a few mid-20s, and a couple of the stockies, so they done quite well. I mean, in the conditions, I think I've done well. I just watched them last night, saw where they wanted the bait to go, so to speak. That's what I've done. I've had one off that, so I'll do the same again tonight. Don't know what to do with the other 2 rods. I think I will leave one in the pad because there's every chance that, so when that sun comes out, when the sun comes round, sorry, in that corner, the fish are going in there. It's just a case whether they'll pick up the bait or not. So yeah, we'll leave that for now. So I will, I promise today I will show you the rig. I say because I can't use my free run, well I could use my free run leads in there, but I'm just using sort of running leg clips this time with the same kind of hooking arrangement. You can't use spinners or anything on here. so it's either sort of blowback rigs and things like that, but I'll show you that later. Show you kind of the bait that I'm using and how I use it. Obviously you know I'm with the goods now. Looking forward to their new bait. There's a new release coming out, well, it's making it now, called the Hatch. So that's going to be an insect meal bait. At the minute I can't pull myself away from the enemy. I think every time I've used that, touch wood, I've had one blank, and that's since November. That enemy has just been absolutely lethal for me. So I'm off for now. I'll leave that for now. I will show you around the lodge and show you the tactics and that a bit later on, so catch you later, guys. Right, it's time for the recast now. I've just been looking at the water, and they're starting to show a bit later than what they were the last couple of nights, so I just thought I'd show you what I was doing. So rig wise, as I on here, you can't use any lead-free leaders or anything like that, so gone for free running lead clip. So I've just crushed the oil of that down, so basically shake at the head and the lead will slide away. Hook length material on that is pretty much identical. It's just on a slip D with an oversized kick on there, with the ever faithful enemy yellow wafter. That's what I had my 22 pounder on last night. So basically all I'm doing from here, so I filled up the bait boat. That's got a load of enemy in there, as you can see. I will put in there as well, just got a particle mix. That's going to be absolutely stinking, but yeah, so I'm just going to put a load of particle in there. That's just mixed maples, corn and pigeon conditioner, so I'll just load that up. Right, that's pretty much what I did yesterday, and then what we'll do, stick some of the goods oils on there. That's the hemp oil. There's all various oils that goods does, but I'll just put the hemp oil on there, we'll drizzle that on there, and then I'll take it down to the bank and show you where I'm putting it. Right, so I don't want to get too close to the aerator, but so we're just going to go where we picked up that fish last night. Another early morning take. Fortunately that wiped out my right hand rod. I thought that was the right hand rod that was gone, but that was the one that I didn't film putting out, which was just kind of in the middle of nowhere, just short where the other one was. So I just think I've been a bit unlucky with the fish size. This one's 16 pound 12, but nevertheless welcome and a very pretty fish. That was on a solid bag on the an enemy yellow wafter with the bag mix inside the bag, and over a bit of particle and a bit of fam pellet. That's an absolute cracking fish. Show you the other side quickly. It's nearly full in on this side. There we go. Well, we'll get it back because obviously they're still warm. Get it back, get both rods out. Got 2 rods to do now, and hopefully we're in for some more fish. Catch you later. Let's get her back. She fought well, so we'll just let her recover for a bit, because it's probably got to turn her around actually. Typical, the zip's got stuck. There you go. Right, get her back round again. Well, good morning. Bit of a hectic morning that was as well. So I had that fish pretty much the same time as what it was yesterday. Actually, it was sort of 4:30, 4:45. That went off. So I think that seems to be kind of bite time most mornings, or so it would appear. Put the rods back out, and I was getting liners on that right hand one near the pump for about an hour and a half ish, because now 8:30 now. Now that sun is now sort of hitting on that water again, that's gone quiet. Still don't know why I haven't had any fish on that sort of margin rod to my right hand side. I put it onto a new area as you saw last night. Well, I was expecting, and I've been expecting a lot on that rod, that them fish come in the morning. They've got to come from somewhere once that sun comes up, and then go into the corner and feed. I'll have a feed before they start sunning themselves or basking in the sun in the corner. So not really sure why that one hasn't gone. I say there's only been 3 other fish out, my two, and there's been 3 onto the lodge to my left. There was a 30, I think you had a double, and I think there was another sort of upper double yesterday, so it would appear anyway. Other than that 38, them big ones aren't feeding. I don't think there's been a big one out here for a while, but say this 30-degree plus heat probably isn't helping matters. Yeah, so I've got the rest of today to go, and tonight obviously you got to be off here by 10 o'clock in the morning. So I think this afternoon we'll get the majority of the gear kind of packed up, clothing and stuff, get that in the car, and then it will just be a case of doing the rods and getting the boat and that away tomorrow. I'll just try and leave put as much in the car as I can, and then just leave, let's say, the rods, putting the alarms away, and then chuck it in the car, and then off we go. It's about a 4.5, 5-hour drive, as I mentioned. Not so warm this morning. It's about 20. It's about 8:30, 8:45 now, and it's about 23 degrees. So the heat is staying off for the time being, let's just say, and we'll just hope for maybe 1 or 2 fish more. Just one of them big ones would be nice. I say, been looking forward to this holiday for, I'll say, 12 months, and all I wanted out of here really was a 30, either a PB mirror or just beat my overall PB 32.10. So that hasn't happened as of yet, but it only takes one bite, I suppose. Yeah, so we'll leave that for now. I will show you around the lodge before we leave. I'll probably show it to you this afternoon, but we'll catch up with you later on anyway, and then hopefully we get 1 or 2 more fish. Well, I'm just going to sort my other rods out, just have a bit of a breather in this heat. So I'm just going to show you how I do my bag mix, because I've got one of them on a solid PVA bag. So there is the good PVA bag mix. It's like 2ml pellets and powder. That one is that's the fan. That was a mistake, I need the NME. So there's the NME one, so exactly the same, but obviously just a different flavour. The way I go about it is I would tip, don't need a massive amount really. I'll try not to do this too much in one go, and this is the important bit. What I had in mind, when you can add the liquid lunch, but I generally use the like I say, the drips. Generally put very good actually this is on your so for your pots of hook baits, every now and again just sort of rehydrate and put them on there, shake the tub, leave it a couple of months or however long you want to really, and then just give them another coating on there. Just adds the attraction of your hook baits. So all you do, say, squirt a little bit in. You don't need a lot for the amount of powder, if I'm totally honest, because you don't want it too stodgy. So you just put that in. Normally I'll do this with a plunger, but we'll just do it with my hand just for the purpose of this little bit. So you don't want this kind of sticking together like a kind of like a ground bait mix. It needs to be still fairly dry. That's probably still a little dry, so just add a bit more. The smell of maple coming off this is bloody lovely. Right, so you're looking at about that. If you put any more in there, like I said, I'll go like ground bait. That's how I do it. Also, I'll put that in a solid PVA bag, again with an enemy hook bait. Again, doesn't matter what colour. I generally, well, this week I know I'm using yellows, but yeah, hook bait of your choice. Put that in a solid PVA bag, fish on the bank. Simple as that. Right guys, I just thought I'd show you how I prepare my my hook baits. So I do it with all my hook baits, whether they're pop-ups, wafters, slow sinkers, whatever they are. I do it all the same. So don't get me wrong, the hook baits are good enough as they are to go. So in there I've got the mixed barrel enemy wafters in white, pale pink and yellow. So all I do, you can't really do it when you've got a full pot, but once you've used a few, so that's about sort of 3/4 of a pot in there, all I would do is get your drips. And so you don't need a great deal, just put a tiny amount over there like that. And then because you've got room in there, if you just give them a good old shake up, just got all them liquids, just give them a bit of a coating on the hook bait. You can see now that there's a bit of a sheen on there, so I don't know if you can see that, but there's a slight glaze on them. And then what I'll do is I'll just leave them in my pot. Probably leave it, well, you can do it as many times as you want, leave it a few weeks, month, whatever, and then just keep topping it up. All it's going to do is enhance your hook bait, sweeten them up a little bit, and the jobs are good. And I say with these, I've been using these since November 2025, and so far so good. I haven't failed and haven't blanked since using them. So if you're unsure and you want a new bait, get on the goods, get on the enemy. They all are, to be fair. You've got the enemy, the fam and the task, all of them do well. You've got the new test bait that's coming out as well, coming up shortly, which I'll be getting some of, which will be the hatch. Sure, they'll be just as good. Yeah, if you want to get, in my opinion, the best bait in the game, have a look at goodsbaits.co.uk. Right, good evening. It's now Thursday evening and we are now at 8:15 The fish were showing a bit later in the evening, well, say even this afternoon. Now starting to see one or two show over the lake. Mainly sort of taking sort of flies and that off the top at the moment, but they are starting to roll near the aerator where I've had my fish from. So I just thought I'd show you how I prep the bait on each, well, say not just this session, it's every session. So just been sitting here, obviously I didn't do that on film. Just gonna show you. So there's a load of crushed enemy, and what I do with mine, just to be one step ahead, or one step ahead of everyone else, just add liquid. I think the liquid will just makes your bait better than the person next door. So that's the matching liquid lunch, so that's the enemy. Give that a good dose of that in here. Let's give that a good shake up. Find with the liquid lunch it sticks to the bait really well, so now I've got sticky fingers, but you're kind of left with that, and the maple smell coming off of that is, well, I could eat it. It's nice sweet smelling liquid. And then what I'll probably do in a minute, I'll add some hemp oil to that as well, and that will be it. I say that should pull the fish down. I'm going to put the rods in the same area as I did before, so one near the aerator, one just off in no man's land where I had the fish yesterday morning, or this morning, sorry. So we'll get the rods out. So should have had them out now really, but yeah, we'll get the rods out and see how we go, and hopefully you'll see us another fish tonight, because we're leaving at about 10 in the morning. So right, hopefully next time you see us will be with the fish, and we'll catch you later. Right guys, sorry I forgot to do the second rod when I put it out. So that one's just on the, basically I said the right one's over near the aerator, left hand one I'll come a bit shorter, and because they bubble normally in the mornings, so just come a bit shorter and to the left. This one I'll be putting in the just in a slightly different spot, because I've had a bait on the same spot for 2 nights and that had a thing. So just gonna put this, it's not far away from where it was, but just on the far bank. We'll just put the camera up. So I was just going to go over in the pads over there. So let me just get the boat in the water, and we'll get it on the spot. Right, here we go then guys. Right, there's 2 cat in the pad, so I was fishing in the big cat on the far bank. This time it's going to go into the this smaller one. There's traffic coming through here, the carp are coming through onto that right hand side, so just thought we'll go right into the pads here and give this a crack. Right in there. Excuse me. Right, that's how it dropped. So it's not very deep. How the carp can't see your bait when they're coming through there, I don't know, but oh, a bit of a malfunction there. Let's get that round. Right, I'll get the boat back, and then I'll have a catch up with you a bit later on. Well guys, same time, well say same time, so expecting to get liners from about 4:30, which did happen. Well I'll say 4:30, from 4 onwards start to get liners, single beeps, a couple of beeps, then the liners get a bit more savage, and then today was a little later than normal, so I've been sitting bubbling, topping. And then this baby, it took me quite a while to get in. It was a good 15-20 minute battle. But an absolute unit of a fish, £25, 13 ounces that will do. Again, still not the 30 that we were after, but we'll take that in the conditions. Absolutely amazing common. Quickly show you the other side. There we go, an absolute belter. It's probably going to be the last one. I'll quickly get right out there just in case there's a chance for another one. So we'll be off at 10. Today will be a bit of a sad day, unfortunately I couldn't make it. But today is my nan's funeral, so hopefully she's looking down on me, thanking Annie. Yeah, it'll be a sad day. Right, we'll get her back. Note for another one. If not, we'll do a closing piece before we go. Right, we're just on the pack down now, so let's show you the quickly show you the lodge. So we're in Willow Lodge. I'll just show you what you get. So on the outside, you've got a nice table there for your eating if you want to eat outside. Going into the lodge, got a double door. You come in here and it's I say this is what you pay for. A nice little seating area there. That is a sofa bed, so that can pull out. That can be another bed for another person. They provide folders, a few magazines. In there you've got all your stuff for your local doctors, dentists, takeaways, whatever you want. The takeaway companies do deliver to the lake. So we haven't made the bed, but you get one double room. So you've got lighting facilities in there. Got a mirror, bit of area for your clothes, and then if you are bringing your partner or whatever, you have got another door here, so when you get a bite you can literally just run out the door from there and off you go. So really, for the money you're getting good value really. So the only downside is you do have to pay for your electric, so that takes £1 and £2 coins. Another thing to add is you get TV with Netflix, so I was watching Channel 4, watching the In-Betweeners yesterday, and that is about it. So you got a log burner there in case if you want to come up here in the winter. You just got to make sure that you get your logs ordered by 3 PM. And so then you've got all your standard kitchen gear, so you've got your cooker there, oven, knives, fried all the cutlery and that in the drawers. They were a godsend having the windows open, so it's been over 35 degrees since we've been here. Get a fridge freezer, bin, toilet, nice shower, that was nice the other day, freezing cold shower, and then just your normal wash basin. So there you go. If you're interested in coming to the lake, I say you just book on Olivemead Lakes. You have to pay a 50% deposit though to get your spot. You're looking at about, for example, for this one it was £974 for the week. So that was from Monday 1 PM till we'll be leaving by 10 o'clock this morning. So we'll leave that there for now, and we'll catch you another time. Well guys, that's now a wrap. Yeah, we done alright. Well, the conditions were crap really, to be quite fair, but at least we had 3 out in the end. 2 other fish did come out last night at £30, well, one just over £30, 11, and another one I believe. So until next time, yeah, we'll hopefully have another trip next year booked. Try and do it a bit earlier in the year this time. Also, we can't predict what the weather's going to be like when we book it, that's the problem. Big thank you to all the bailiffs, the accommodation, everything. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thanks again, and then we'll see you next year. Right, thanks for watching guys. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It's all appreciated. Cheers.